Life drawing, the critique. First thing we're going to do is put our name under the reviewer. Please remember that you are the reviewer. This is how I find who to give points to. The first artist you'll be reviewing is yourself. The only people who do not review themselves are people who do not have work on the wall. So, put your name down twice if your work is up. Put your name down under reviewer if your work is up. And then we'll find someone else for you to review. As with any good critique, we always want to build up someone, so we're going to say the best part about this piece is. For this, I'll say how you made a picture look realistic because of the shading you did. Hey, please remember, I'm giving out points on the use of the word because. You have to tell me why we have these opinions. Because is the root of anything here to get your points, so please get them by using the word because. Next, we follow it up with I think a part that may need more work. We're not telling what's horrible about the work, but what could use more work. We could start with a fact. I think a part that could use more work is your contour lines because they don't look like they are hugging the model. Yes, I'm still using the word because, and the fact of the matter is that you should have been using your contour lines appropriately. If they are falling flat and they're not curved where they're supposed to be, point that out. Of course, we can always offer an opinion. For example, you should have added the little metal screws because that isn't part of the model. Some people did not include the metal screws. It's okay if you didn't for the grade, but some people think it was very important to get things like that. Yeah, my opinion is you should have gotten it. It's an opinion, though. It's not going to make or break the piece. What's your opinion on this? Of course, there could be nothing wrong with it, but we can't just leave it blank. We have to still use the word because, so we can say nothing because it's perfect. Yes, this is acceptable, but it's only really acceptable if there's nothing wrong with it. If you're just saying that to get out of it, that may not help you, and it's definitely not going to help the person whose artwork it is. Please use your critical thinking skills to help out someone to become a better artist. Please don't forget, if you say anything that does not build up the person, does not help them, in fact, it flat out hurts them or hurts their feelings, it will be an instant zero. So if you say something like, it stinks because you didn't do a good job, well, that's not okay. So your whole work's going to get an instant zero. And of course, you have time to remake this grade, but why put yourself through that extra work? Get it done right the first time. The third prompt, and the first of our new ones, will be, do the contour lines convey the edges of the sculptures or do they feel flat? All right? This is just going back to contour lines. Are they hugging the object? Where it's flat, they're flat, and where they're curved. All right? I am looking for the answer with the word because. The arms feel flat because they did not curve the contour lines as much as they are round. The rest of the body, the contour lines look fine. All right, still looking for that use of the word because, still looking to see if you guys are noticing the work. So if you did not mention the contour lines before, this question forces you to talk about them. And the last prompt is, does it feel based on a realistic item, or does it feel like it's just made up based on imagination alone? This should look like something that we saw in class, but if it looks like they weren't looking at the model, and you know how it should have looked because you walked around the classroom, you saw other models. Did they use what they were looking at, or do you think they made it up? The shadow might tell you, the way they are contouring may tell you, even the way the model is shaped may tell you if they were just doing things they weren't supposed to do, using their imagination, or if it's telling you that they were paying attention, trying to make it look realistic because they were observing from life. Please remember to use the word because. Of course, when you are done, you're going to flip that paper over. But before you do that, hey, check to make sure that you did your work right. Read it to somebody. Make sure it makes sense. Make sure you use that word because. Make sure you're getting all your credit. Once we've done the magic number, remember, it's the first person I find with their hand up. They'll tell us a number, and that's how many we're going to move over, and that's the person you get, so everyone gets a review. The only people not included are those who did not hang up work. They will not be part of our rotation. They'll just find someone else to review. Hey, while you're at it, when you flip it over, write your name down under the reviewer. Artist name, sometimes they put it on the front, sometimes they put it on the back. But if you can't find them, we can find it. I'll find it. I'll find them and let you know who did it. Write down their name. And at that point, it's just rinse, lather, repeat. We're going to answer the same prompts, but about their work and not yours. Maybe some of the answers will be the same. Maybe they won't. Nothing new under the sun for this. The rubric for critique is the same as any other critique rubric. If you've done all 8 prompts, use because for each, and each one makes sense, you haven't used the vocabulary out of context, and you used words that help build up the person, you'll get a full 100 points. However, one or two that you didn't use because, or they don't make sense, we're now down to 85. 3 to 4 is 70. And when you start leaving answers blank, 1 to 2 or 5 or more prompts that you didn't use because, we're in the 60 range here. And of course, there is 0 for people who didn't do 3 or more prompts, or they said something inappropriate, or they maybe didn't turn their work in. Please get your points. This is probably the easiest of all the grades I hand out. You do have to put in that work. Good luck.